So glad you could join us over in Beijing. That was a very quick 2-minute trip, wasn't it? But of course, we're going into our Beijing small little derby. It's not even one. It's just Rogue Warriors and RNG jumping into the end of week 2. This is Raz. My name's Jake. He's getting sick of my stuff tonight, but I'll tell you what.
Can't call it a Beijing derby when it's not a Beijing derby.
We're in Beijing, and it was quick. We got there. We had to take some kind of travel. Anyway, doesn't matter because in that last series, we'll give you the MVP as soon as we know. But we're going into this one full throttle, running it in full Raz. And
I just want to see the. I just want to see the champions.
Bring it up. Bring it up. Bring up the pick bands.
Give me a look. Let me get a look at it.
Thank you.
All right, perfect, perfect. Oh, the typical RNG Karma double, like the double support one. So essentially, it's going to be a composition to protect the Sivir. I want to see it in action as we're already in there. So let's go for it because it's a beautiful composition. This is something that they've utilized quite a bit as we just get into the series. But remember this as we look back at this series. Last time Rogue Warriors went up against RNG, like, Rogue Warriors just shocked the crowd.
Yes.
They took RNG down. So let's move on to the series and see how that ends up going.
There we go. All right. Rogue Warriors RNG, ladies and gentlemen, running in full. And at this point, remember that for RNG, their run was held short. Over in the quarterfinals, into spring. Now coming into summer, it's a new RNG with LangX in the top lane. Previous Xiaohu from Suning. He's got his best champion in Renekton. And that is going to be fearsome. Going into the new Rogue Warriors, running Holder and Haro. Big lineup coming forward.
Ooh.
Surely not. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is our introduction to you for the new Rogue Warriors. And two big members on this roster that we didn't get a chance to talk about, both Holder and Haro, entering Summoner's Rift for the first time together.
I've been raving about this team on social media preseason, talking about essentially that I think that this is a playoff team.
Yes.
Like Haro coming in from EDG, definitely a huge addition. Remember, went to Worlds with the team, had a great performance. His Lee Sin was amazing, so he's a great early game jungler in Bridge.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Holder, not a lot of people will remember him, but he was on the team when you had SMLZ and Duanby. And he was such an insane carry player with his Aurelia and his Aurelia, Kennen, Ryze, his AP top lanes, and his Akali was exceptional. So we'll have to get a view of it. But remember, this is RNG splitting up the map. Now they're just going to be bullying ZWuJi and Killua, so this is going to be a tough time for them.
And while for RNG, LangX may not have been tested up in that top lane against someone maybe like Post, you've got Holder now, so it's a very different matchup.
That is a Comet Sylas. I have legitimately never seen a Comet Sylas maybe one top lane, but never in the mid lane. He's having a problem where he's recognizing that him going Aftershock and having those trades and engages on Karma is a bait. Because the slow, the tether, that just locks him into a longer fight, and far longer than the duration of the Aftershock. And then past that point, Electrocute's not enough damage when you're thinking about, like, Karma does a lot of damage, and a lot of people won't expect that in the laning phase itself. So he's realizing that he's just going to have to poke the lane out with his Q, so expect a Q max, just trying to deal with and have at least some good trades there in the early laning phase.
Because for HuaTian, there's been questions around how he would come into summer. I know there was a bigger discussion on what the weakness was for Rogue Warriors and what we'd look towards. And HuaTian, the start of spring, did not look like a good rookie mid laner, but towards the end, definitely matured. So not as weak of a point for Rogue Warriors as Karsa's looking to make a dive possible in the bottom lane.
They will not have LangX for this one unless if he gets the solo
pressure onto Holder. He's got a couple of shots ready, but he can't find them. Doesn't commit. He knows Haro's nearby.
Now LangX is completely safe with that trade. What a fantastic 1v1 to be able to keep himself safe. Now he can, use the Q unless if HuaTian, he's going to be here and Holder's chugging potions.
Oh, he flashes forward. He had full fury. He jumps in. The flash is out as well. They make the engage. Rogue Warriors for first blood.
Great timing, and you could see the frustration in LangX's face. He knew he was on the weak side, but he thought he could just get a cheap kill with how poorly Holder has been playing the 1v1. So loses it, probably didn't have a good enough idea of where HuaTian was on the map. He thought, worst case scenario, the Rek'Sai is here and I get out scot-free.
Great communication to make this happen.
I think I'm never too sure with the timings on his auto attack and Q. I also thought he was going to be able to get the kill, that he had lethality in that one, but wasn't the case. Ends up falling forward, and that's Rogue Warrior starting out with an early kill.
HuaTian in the mid lane. The Sylas with Comet picks it up too. And although he burned the flash in the preparation for it, he still got it.
I think HuaTian is in a position to be the most improved player, let's say, of the split.
Yes.
Because when he first started off on Rogue Warriors at the beginning, my God, was he bad.
Yes. Oh, God, that's so...
But it was the worst combination, too, of, you know, bad execution and just hard-headedness of always still wanting to pick up the fight. The typical Yasuo player. He was a Yasuo player.
Yes.
He had like a 0-10 Yasuo game, too.
It was the typical Yasuo.
And he went in, and he would constantly say that this was a good fight. I'm still going to be going for these situations. It was the right mentality to have. But you still want to be able to execute. He has gotten better throughout the split. Remember, he was actually getting changed in and out of the mid lane with him and Ming. And so there was a real fire within the team to find improvements. The team has found improvements there. And that's the reason why he's come in and is a main mid laner for the team. So if HuaTian can be consistent while his adjacent lanes and his jungler are, you know, the ones who are being hyped up, then this is certainly a team that could do a lot of great work this split.
I'm so glad they stuck with HuaTian because Kongmin seemed like he had similar issues in the mid lane for Rogue Warriors, but you're right, coming into some of those new expectations put onto his back and into this mid lane, you can see that the matchup already into Xiaohu is already evened up.
Yeah, already, I mean, we're just talking about a good job being done, being able to rotate on the one window he had to go for the top lane. So it was a split map set up by RNG and was just nailed down apparently by Rogue Warriors. Now, still, ZWuJi and Killua are still in a bad situation. And Ezreal, or at least Kennen, in this matchup, he's actually in a pretty bad spot too, simply because while he has the range advantage, the dive is incredibly possible. And remember, the nerf to Kennen was the fact that his base resistances got moved away from his E to his ultimate.
Yeah.
So if he wants to keep himself safe in a dive situation, he would have to use his ult rather than his E, and so it keeps him in a more trivial position.
And although that Dragon won't give LangX anything more, he's still comfortable in this lane. Looking at the Kennen, though, it is going to be an AD Kennen from Holder. So we're not seeing AP. That means this ult's not going to do any damage just yet. Holder gets the stun down and is able to turn it back around. Holder still wants this, but he's not going to follow it up any further. Haro's nearby.
I think LangX was trying to get not only a good trade, but to have the lane shoved out too. He wanted a base.
Yeah.
He knew that Jarvan was in the opposite side of the map, so this is the second time where LangX is trying to look for a fight while his jungler is on the opposite side. But in this one, remember, last time you thought he can get a kill. This one he was like, well, I know I'm backing. It's only going to be an in-and-out operation, so that was a good play from LangX. He's going to be right back with a wave at his turret.
Well, Mercury trades in hand as well, so Kennen going to do a lot less in this lane. As the back finally comes through here from Holder, let's see what he picks up because he's got a full inventory in hand. It's a Cutlass picked up. So, of course, yes, definitely the AD Kennen if you haven't realized by now. Or we could be looking at a Hextech Gunblade first for the Kennen top.
It's a strong... yeah, I think for certain we're going to be seeing Hextech Gunblade. Okay. But before we touch onto it, you can already see Haro was in position. But remember, if you're going for these fights, you have to start by hitting the Thresh.
Yeah.
Just because of what you saw. Not only because of the spell shield that Sivir will have, but 100% the ability to just be able to whisk your AD carry away.
Of course. Stun didn't connect as well, but bottom lane has a 20 CS advantage. It's kind of just frisked us by. Lane's doing very well here for RNG. So far, all three of them with CS advantages.
That's the whole purpose for the whole trading of sides. That ZWuJi and Killua, even though they're on the Xayah Rakan, have no way of being able to shove out the wave, knowing that Karsa is always in the area. So consistently shoved out, always put in a bad position. And that was a major reason why Uzi and Ming were able to come out with a major lead. And remember, they're the best laners in the league. So Uzi and Ming are always able to find themselves just like humongous advantages. As you can see, Karsa's looming over the lane.
Love the pathing there from Haro. He's still being spotted out. This control ward is still there.
No!
That's been there for about 4 minutes now, and Holder is going to be paid for it because Haro's nowhere nearby. They get the ultimate down, but LangX pops one himself into Dominus. Thank you very much, Spartacus. Your life is next.
Yeah, that's going to be hard to watch, to deal with. Anything, really, at this point. Something that not a lot of people get to talk about is the fact that not only, Renekton holding on to the boots that you had mentioned, but also is in the precision tree, of course, so very likely has Legend's tenacity. There's just so much tenacity there for Renekton, so he doesn't have to worry about the snare, the stun that Kennen is throwing at him.
Not even a second.
Not even to worry about it. So, yeah, Holder's in a really tough spot this game.
Turret's going to get pushed down. There's more turret plating here for the Renekton to take advantage of. When you go back and you pick up boots, you think it's a bit of a side whirlwind. I'm not even sure what to call it, but wouldn't be enough gold to go towards that first item. LangX definitely has a bit of a boost to his system now, being almost 20 CS ahead. And after getting that turret plating, we should see core components come through. There's the Phage.
Great Scuttle Crab picked up by Rogue Warriors. At this point in time, RNG are winning across the board. The sad reality of it is that even with the kill going over to HuaTian with a shove, is that the CS advantage is there for Xiaohu.
Yep.
It's certainly there for the top lane, and we've touched on it time and again. Uzi and Ming are smashing the lane. So at this point in time, with the vision being cleared out, it seems inevitable that RNG are going to be moving the bottom lane, if not for a dive, to push ZWuJi and Killua off the lane so they can get the tower.
Feels like Rogue Warriors really need to make something move as Haro. Yes, he finally gets it. Thank you.
Got it.
There we go. So control ward being taken out, but spotted on the blue buff. RNG feel very safe in this bottom lane. They continue to push up.
Take a look at the red side jungle for Rogue Warriors. That's completely owned by RNG.
Yeah.
There is no way for Haro to go through that jungle and not be seen. So what does that mean? If Xiaohu, with his blue buff, gets a shove on mid lane, he's definitely going to be joining alongside Karsa to find a dive bot side. That is a play that has now been etched out. Haro essentially recognizes it, and this is the call that they're making.
So a good response means that you do potentially sacrifice this dragon spawning in less than a minute. But
There we
Rek'Sai started off. Karsa's nearby. He's going to spot this one out, but might be too late.
Hey! Yeah, let's go.
PP, that's commitment here from RNG. They don't get it in time. Karsa's over the wall. Haro gets what he needs and he gets out.
Remember, that's just the Karma teleport, so she was going to be mid lane anyways. But now they have to play reactively. RNG now has to always have in the back of their minds that rather than looking for the bottom side play, oh, here we go.
You can't find it anyway. On top of the lantern, they tried to block him. Uzi gets ignited close enough. WuJi dodges away from the hook, trying to stand toe-to-toe in this 2v2.
Now at this point, if you're Haro, set up the Rift Herald. You know that the bottom lane has been heavily chipped down. Karsa can't do anything. Oh, it looks like he's trying, though. There's a trade happening here.
It's going to be quick. Remember that there's no quickness available. The Xayah can't get pushed.
They're getting Renekton out.
Teleport, and he's out of there. Top for bottom, which happens first? It looks like WuJi and Killua can't get out. Teleport's there as well. Death Sentence doesn't land as they go for the Cataclysm down underneath the turret. They find the knockup, but Rogue Warriors are quick to commit.
Wow.
They get out. Holder's here as well. That was swift from RW.
That was the best dive protection I have ever seen.
Yes.
And now Xiaohu's still here, though. It's only
Remember, Holder doesn't have the ultimate. He used it in that quick little trade, or rather he did hold that thought, because we now see HuaTian into the middle of it. He's gone deep. His life for the turret in the top lane. Okay, but RNG are going to keep pushing.
He does it, man. He did it for his team. He did it for the boys right there.
Good guy.
Oh! Rift Herald, please.
He's going to get another charge.
What if Rift Herald did have a teleportation, ability?
Oh, yeah.
That'd be
He'd
pretty
channel
nice.
it once again.
Hell yeah.
That'd be great.
Just send it straight to the mid lane immediately. All right, 167 HP on this one. You want to protect it from the small peasant minions.
No one here to respond. Gets
There
the turret.
we go.
That takes a bit of damage, and it'll claw its way at it after dying after this next
At the
wave.
end of the day, it's a great trade from Rogue Warriors.
Yes.
They were the one that were, behind the majority of this one. Xiaohu catches out Haro. He knew he's on this side of the map.
Xiaohu's doing so much damage with this
Get me
Luden's
over.
Echo. This Karma mid is about to destroy him. He presses Q. The Inspire in a flame is there, but Haro manages to get away.
Goodness gracious.
Close to the chest. Got the red buff, though, so worth.
That's always hard to deal with, but there we go, man. He's able to keep himself alive. Got himself that buff. Now Rogue Warriors are in a fantastic position off of all of that. I was concerned. The one replay I want is not necessarily anything in the top side of the map, but that
The
dive
bot
protection.
side, yes.
That's when you class in session, my friend.
Thank you.
Oh, are we watching after it? No! Why are we watching after the fact? This was the least impressive part of all of it. I don't give a damn about any of this. I'm upset.
I don't care about HuaTian dying. It was worth it.
I'm upset.
It was worth it.
I'm mad.
Yep.
What the hell? You YouTube viewers out there, you do yourself a justice by just replaying that yourself.
We're gonna
trust no one but your own strength.
lose 50% of our Twitch audience to go back to YouTube. That's fair.
I mean, that's what happens when you Twitch. You know, feels bad, man.
Yeah. That's why we got clips.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Flip that.
So, although that bottom lane dive was negated, still, the turret went down in the end. Bottom lane switched around to the mid lane, and ZWuJi and Ming still ahead by 40 CS in that matchup. So, although it was good from Rogue Warriors, and although Rogue Warriors in a better position after 3 lanes of winning, still RNG ahead by 1,500 gold.
And a lot of the gold, if we're just talking about gold efficiency at this point, I mean, take a look at what Sivir's going through. Should be going towards Infinity Edge afterwards. We've been seeing this build where it's just like double damage, no attack speed item, knowing that Sivir just has that innate attack speed boost in her ultimate.
Yep.
And on top of that, I mean, her abilities are just so damaging, her Q especially. So you get a lot out of that one. And the Ricochet crits is always a big plus. Take a look at this, though.
He smells something. Gonna see something. It's Haro in the top lane, and RNG still making their responses towards the bottom lane. This was a attempted dive. ZWuJi and Killua still walk up to the wave. They don't care.
If there is one team that I do not want to give them flank position around mid lane turret, it's RNG.
Yes.
And they have been given that position, so Xiaohu's going to make the best out of it in this next wave. It's a while off,
He has a nuke available. He's not going to pop it out. Instead, just clearing around the vision. So, although they do have the flank for Rogue Warriors, they're okay for the time being. How long that lasts is up to them.
I just realized there needs to be a champion that has, you know, the nuclear launch. Nuclear launch detected.
I feel like that's kind of corky already, isn't it?
No.
It's close enough.
No.
It's a missile barrage.
No. I'm talking about that StarCraft, you know, nuclear launch vibe.
I played Warcraft 3, man.
You're playing the wrong game. Back to the action.
That's what I
because you have just disappointed me.
Yep. Okay.
You don't get that quick and easy nuclear launch.
No.
You have to be able to put in some hard work to get that mid lane tower down. And I think they're doing a great job. I also think Rogue Warriors have been at least keeping them honest and in the area to stop a possible dive from Karsa and Xiaohu.
That gold lead is not developing any further. Rogue Warriors, in fact, are kind of developing on it. 1,400 now is the difference, and it's just slowly getting back to even. Rogue Warriors leaving their 80 carry to the mid lane. Not going to help them at all because ZWuJi's just free farming. He's 50 CS up.
Yep.
And they want this mid lane. There's finally the nuke. That's close enough, Raz. At half health, Haro has to come in, but I fear RNG have already got this turret. And maybe the fight has been knocked up. The turnaround from Rogue Warriors. That quickness! Support! Killua gets a perfect engage.
That's when I send my prayers up to Killua. That was the most beautiful ultimate. Post-nerf 2.
Yes.
Fabulous. Keep doing it. Now, when the champion first came out, guess who was the one that I watched first? And I thought that was the best Rakan on release.
Was it Ming?
Was Killua.
Okay.
Back on track, man. Why do you think it was Ming? I was talking
just thought it'd be ironic, yeah.
All right, yeah, that's true.
Okay.
That'd be the worst story time ever. Was not the guy who had that incredible engage. But yeah, Killua was, I felt like, had the quickest grasp on Rakan in solo queue. And so, not a surprise to me that he's able to do something this fantastic. He's about to get it. Oh my god. ZWuJi is getting destroyed by everybody.
He is. So Killua stays close to the chest. Still has that flash available if he wants to go for the counter engage. But they've left HuaTian in the bottom lane, which means the river now being impounded on. Dragon available coming up shortly. And there he is. Haro hanging around behind the pit. This is watered out, but Rogue Warriors doesn't look like they can contest, and even losing top lane turret in the process.
There's not much you can do here for Rogue Warriors. With ZWuJi constantly getting poked out first of all, and then just getting slammed by the Sivir pick. He's at a really bad spot. So I can sympathize.
And you know it's not going to get any better. Sivir will get to that 4, 5. I mean, 2 items. Let's be realistic. Is coming very shortly.
I mean, this is going to be the highest damage point we're going to be seeing from the Karma relative to the rest of the field.
That is also true.
Because from this point forward, you're expecting an Athene's Unholy Grail, you know, an Ardent Censored to be coming through, just to be a true supportive mid laner. That's what I am expecting. Now,
that's a blasting one.
Exactly. Okay. And so maybe we just get the full AP Karma mid.
Yes.
That's always that's so Xiaohu though. Xiaohu's the one. He's like, yeah, don't worry about it, Uzi. I'm going Karma. I got your back.
Both Karmas in this
blasting
team.
the enemy team. I will support you by demolishing the enemy team. I will just burst the AD carry.
And that'll make it easier for you.
Hell yeah.
Well, Ming's doing all the supportive work this game then. It's all on the back of him.
You know who's the best support in the game?
Who?
Zed. Just eviscerates the enemy AD.
That's a 500 IQ right there.
It's the worst analysis I've made all night.
No, it's okay.
That's cool.
I like that.
But that's double Mountain Dragon. At
Yep.
point really relevant to talk about because the amount of damage, consistent damage coming from RNG is going to be huge to deal with. So Rogue Warriors do need consistent vision around the Baron buff. They're doing it now. It's going to be coming up in 30 seconds.
It's going to be easy to get near turrets with that Sivir as well. Rogue Warriors finding that fact difficult as Sivir just clears out the wave. And mid lane going to be super difficult to break in this game for Rogue Warriors.
631 crit damage on the minion. Yeah, Infinity Edge and Essence Reaver will do that.
That's 234 CS at 20 minutes in the game, by the way.
Next item should be Rapid Fire Cannon. So,
Yeah.
no, at this point, it's not going to be trying to hope that the minions deliver the Ricochet over to the enemy team. How about you just end up sending that one shot towards the AD? So, that's what I'm looking for.
Look, you got a 2-item Sivir as Baron spawns. This next fight is being set up by RNG with no vision towards that side. Rogue Warriors playing bottom side at the moment. But Baron's been started up. This is what we said.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Been spotted out. All right, there was a cheeky ward behind that Baron. So let's stop.
Even the blue trinket can kind of actually mess up the expectation from the enemy team because they didn't even necessarily need that blue trinket. They had a great ward in the river that saw them on the Baron buff. So that can trick a team, make them think, oh, we just cleared out the blue trinket. We're fine. They don't see us anymore. Yeah. Just going to have to continue to burn out blue trinkets, but...
Wanted them to know.
Yeah.
Holder doing nothing in this lane.
But she can do.
Yeah, it is a Hextech Gunblade Kennen first. So from here, you see the magic hand. Of course, you know what's going to happen. But in the 1v1, you should know LangX has an advantage here. It's a Renekton with almost 2 items. Dominance, baby. Let's go again. And Mercury Treads paying dividends as they play chicken with each other.
So close. Feel like he was in range for about a millisecond to be able to get that stun, but obviously that's not long enough.
It's a big crocodile. It's going to continue to get even bigger. 50 CS in the top lane, and there's just so many CS advantages across the map. Rogue Warriors scared to approach ZWuJi at the moment as they should be.
That Ricochet damage, 230 damage on ZWuJi with that one Ricochet. Yes. He is getting attacked by everybody on the map. Nothing is safe. That's double control words. Someone please don't do that. Thank you.
That means RNG can approach his Baron once again. The vision getting slimmed out. And Haro's still nearby, but ZWuJi trying to bait it away, and Ming's just trying to get a pick.
All right. At least they have a Rek'Sai to be able to see, you know, at least, not even through just his passive, but his Q as well. Yep. If they're trying to stand still on top of a bush, I mean, Heat Seeker would still be able to get you. Pre-A Seeker, I suppose.
It's a Heat Seeker, I like that. Rogue Warriors using that to fish out where RNG are. HuaTian might be caught out. That was a close call, but you can see he's been pretty stable this game. It would be uncharacteristic to see the spring HuaTian in that moment.
This is just a lose-lose situation from Rogue Warriors. Because they can't push out mid lane when Sivir's just doing it consistently. That's a cannon minion wave too, so RNG should move to the Baron right now, but they're just trying to look for these baits.
I think they're still there.
Yep.
Xiaohu's going to be spotted out, walking towards the Baron, but
do not go through the corridor.
They're there,
Don't
Killua.
do it. All right. Do not. No, stop it. Stop it. They could keep throwing literally everything. Here we go, though.
We do it again. And this time for ZWuJi has the Zeal, so it's going to go down even faster. Double Mountain. This is going to get shredded with 2 people, and Rogue Warriors have no idea this time. Oh, Blue Ward dropped down.
All right, they got to go. Woo. They got to go.
Nuke set down, but they're in a bad position. Killua especially, he has to turn around. He's been caught out from one engage to another. Now for the TP to come in. The Slicing Maelstrom finds 2. HuaTian into the middle of the fight. LangX is at half health, but he's going to heal back up with the help of Dominus onto HuaTian, who's over the wall. Rogue Warriors lose 2, and it's their 2 core members.
And even ZWuJi just threw down his boxing gloves just to, throw up them fists versus ZWuJi. That was an 80 carry 1v1 there. So, great to see it. You hate to see it happen for Rogue Warriors. Even with that fantastic Kennen ultimate. Couldn't even get the kill on a Jarvan, who was blinking red HP bars on that one.
Rogue Warriors suddenly might just have to give up this Baron. They have no interest in contesting whatsoever. They're down to the Ocean Dragon. ZWuJi, HuaTian backing away. So it's a big win here for RNG, and they're in the driver's seat for this game 1.
All right. I mean, Rogue Warriors are playing this one respectfully, but RNG are just on their A game. There's not much that's pushing them off. So whenever you see, Rogue Warriors understanding that maybe Holder can be on side lane and push off the Renekton, that's not a possibility. Give them the big Matumbo finger wag. So not even close. They try to, at least contest the mid lane shove so they can get any kind of vision around the Baron area. Sivir just completely clears the wave.
It's just so frustrating at this point.
It really is.
Seeing
So
Uzi.
take a look at this. The teleport from the Kennen comes through, and it looks like he can get burst out, but he still has the stopwatch in tow. Of course, you're going to be losing the support right off the get-go. And I thought this was devastating from Rogue Warriors, but that's a lot of damage on top of Karsa. He flashes out. You see ZWuJi needing to disengage on the left to Uzi, who is just like, I could take you easily.
And HuaTian does no damage to LangX, so he comfortably chases that one up, even gets an extra summoner on the way out. The 2-item Renekton feeling good, and that's TP coming in now from Xiaohu, who's coming from base with his Morellonomicon on the Karma and another Fiendish Codex.
All right, let's see what we end up doing. Haro on a flank, the least, threatening thing at the moment in time.
HuaTian steals away a Karma ult. Not the best of the team, but definitely not the worst.
At this point, expect Renekton to be rotating towards the mid lane. He has Dominus too, so good luck, guys. I think you need it.
Top wave is slowly pushing in as well. Bottom wave's crashing on in. They go for the dive in the mid. Karsa doesn't get stunned up as the ult comes through from Killua once again. He gets the engage onto the backline, but Uzi still at full health. Wants the Rek'Sai as the nuke comes in again. It's 1 kill for the top laner, 1 for the mid, and RNG aren't slowing down.
Not sure what they expected there. Sylas and Rakan completely separated from the rest of the team, and ZWuJi even had to use his ultimate there. So good luck. You're losing your inhibitor. I think RNG backs away off of this one.
Looks like it. The minion bonus on the turret makes it a very slow conquest, but Uzi has the wave clear here.
The wave.
Are they going for it? No, Uzi just there for more CS.
I always have to make that call just in case we go back to the usual, like the good old IMA BLG situation. Right. 2017 BLG. Uh-oh. I always have to watch out for the teleport plays as possible. 2017 BLG and IMA were teams that, when they saw death timers, 2 death timers, they're like, we'll try for another pick. We'll end it. We have the time. We can do this. And they always lose games with just a sliver of HP. That's huge.
Sorry.
That's humongous.
Yeah.
And yeah, at that point, how's ZWuJi going to help you? You've just been completely isolated. And the stopwatch even came in to help out Ming there. So not even close, baby.
Going to home play Karma mid. Sorry, Raz, you were talking if you have a moment.
I mean, look, you always play and butcher every champion.
Yeah.
So, good luck with the Karma.
Fair enough.
Yeah, we can just put that.
Oh, hang on. Okay.
Yep.
I was going to ask you to keep talking about your story, but that's all right. Insult me instead.
That's how I use my TV time, baby. Find me on ESPN. It's like, what do you have to say? Well, Hysterics is a bad player.
Oh, it's just sad. Well, look, can't do it better than Xiaohu this game because the Karma mid, the full AP is just so destructive. And HuaTian hasn't been able to stand up in his face, although keeping up in CS, not going to be keeping up with gold as RNG continue to develop that 9k gold lead and look towards that top lane inhibitor, which with Uzi just clearing these waves, it's so hard for Rogue Warriors to stand.
Yeah, take a look at LangX. At this point in time, he just needs to be able to push out this mid lane wave. He has GA on top of that. GA and Hysterics Gate.
Yes.
He wants to fight. Oh my god, they're going to end it before he even joins.
HuaTian gets half health by Xiaohu, and Uzi autos once. Yeah.
That's all you really need to say.
Uzi's at 300. Last time I checked, 320 CS.
At 28 minutes.
At 28 minutes. I believe it's even more.
All right, farm it up. Farm it up. Let's go.
He gets the full wave, and he should be at more. I mean, the Observer just doesn't want to put the scoreboard back on.
Just say he gets the full wave and he should get more.
Okay, you know what I mean, Raz? Then you come through from HuaTian. Rogue Warriors are getting obliterated. LangX, his flank works out easily, and even ZWuJi has to back away with the Blade Caller. And Haro, see you later. He's not getting anywhere near this fight as Rogue Warriors this time will have to give up the Nexus, it seems.
Yeah, this one's pretty much lights out. I still want to see the CS margins here just to get the nail down for ZWuJi.
350 CS at the end of the game, Raz. A confident game for RNG. Rogue Warriors put their best feet forward, but in the end of the day, that Karma mid, that Sivir in the bottom lane, driving forces again for RNG as they just want the blood to finish this all off. And it will be Haro who just joined Rogue Warriors to see RNG 11 kills to 1 in game 1.
What a dominating performance against a great competitor. And that's what you want to see out of this team. And let's take a focus on LangX just a little bit, because when we were looking towards all of the woes that RNG had in the top lane, a lot of them were centered around the fact that, you know, they had members that were going fully in one direction or another. Amazing J was all the risk.
Yeah.
And barely the reward. And then if you look towards, like, let's say ZWuJi, Let Me. I think Let Me was a great mix-up too as well, so that's a big positive. But, you know, not enough risk, and they would fall behind a lot of these situations. And I think that for RNG, you get LangX. The guy died early, but that was because he was finding these great opportunities on top of Holder.
Yeah.
And I think that we got to see great laning phase out of LangX. So there we go, pretty dominant. You know, margins right there, as you can already see in the gold graph.
I think confident performance, though, out of Rogue Warriors, despite what that was. It was what we came to expect. Because at the end of the day, Rogue Warriors, they came into this split. And yeah, much like the track, just kind of...
They messed them up.
I guess, yeah.
They mixed them up, too.
They mixed them up.
That's the best DJ I've ever seen in my life. I think 100%, the way RNG had played that one, I'm starting to see more emphasis on outward aggression on two players. And LangX, of course, he wasn't on the team for too long, but like certainly night and day from him and last split when he was with Suning.
Yes.
And then if I'm looking at Xiaohu, my God, my biggest takeaways from Xiaohu is play more aggressive.
Yes.
Like, own it. A lot of times you see, like, going into international events, the biggest criticism is the fact that he just goes back into what is a protection shell for ZWuJi. Now, people will look at this game and say, look at the draft and say, that's a Karma. So what's your point? That guy didn't see any supportive items on that Karma. That was a Karma willing to blow people up.
Yes.
That was a grenade in her queue. Like, that was, ZWuJi wasn't appreciating that. And so that's the type of thing you need to be able to see. Pressure through mid and jungle will be able to bridge the game for ZWuJi, so he can do damage like that. That's like a Reckless-esque performance where he really was just a wave clear bot, and when teamfights came around, he was just able to play it as safely, but at the same time, like oppressively as possible. If I look at ZWuJi, he's not only worrying about the Karma on one side, the AD carry was trying to 1v1 him.
And then you got a Jarvan diving for you. Renekton's in a good position.
That's
so
true.
Every element for RNG looks like it's a peak performance. And I'm not too surprised that we come into this split and at the start of it with the new top laner, the dominant top laner in previously Xiaohu, now LangX, has made this roster what seems powerful again.
Yeah, we'll have to see in the long run. But remember, that was something that we needed to see is consistency and understanding of your role in team fights. That at that time, at last spring split, Amazing J in team fights, that was what he was there for. But then also he was there and essentially failing in a lot of these fights. And communication was a major issue that I'm not seeing here with LangX.
And definitely not. LangX's going to be MVP as well after that
There
game
you go.
#1. I mean, everyone was dominant. And look, there's a big number. We threw the gold on the screen.
Yeah, goal difference at the end of the game. That's just the weirdest stat to throw at people. But for me, if we're just talking about his role in the game, something that I think that was a major positive. Now, if you're asking me who I'd put as an MVP, you know, if it was the Raz MVP, Xiaohu. Easily. But LangX, welcome to the team. Great performance from him. So I'll let you have it today.
Good way to kick off game #1 for RNG. A good lead for them. See if Rogue Warriors can bring that successful lineup into fruition in game 2 right after this.